Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. Today, we're going to be discussing what if Godzilla evolved. First of all, I'm not copying anyone. I'd like to give credit to the BS Showdown for making such an idea. It's been on my mind ever since he uploaded it. I just want to do something like this. I'll put his channel in the description, but he has a really nice channel. He has a bunch of nice what ifs. I think you should go check him out. It's really nice. I'm really inspired by him to do this video. So, I really like him. I watch him sometimes, but anyways, I'd like you guys to go check out his video, and we'll dive into this theory. So where our story starts is in Rome, where Godzilla is fighting Scylla. It plays out similarly to the movie, and he would still get the distress call from the Iwi. Then he would head to the same place. He would not head to the stockpile. So instead of the stockpile being in where it's located in the movie, it'll be located where King Ghidorah was awakened. Godzilla wouldn't think too much of it, but then he would see Tiamat glowing yellow with energy, coming out of the cave, roaring ferociously. Godzilla would fight with Tiamat. This time Tiamat would be way more tougher. She has King Ghidorah's DNA. She would be way more tough to defeat, but Godzilla would be able to defeat her. But Godzilla can just put his finger on it. Why was she so much different? It was not even Tiamat who was trying to kill him. It was way more ferocious. So after killing Tiamat, Godzilla goes into to the domain where King Ghidorah lay there. After that, going into the cave, we cut to Kong. So Kong is still injured from his fight with Shimo and Skarking, and they're helping him recover with the Beast Glove. So Kong would get his Beast Glove and axe ready to fight, and then he would go and call on Godzilla. This is where the story would get interesting, because this time, when Godzilla evolves and he bursts out of the ice, this is like when this events take way more earlier this time. Godzilla evolving, sensing Kong straight away, but his new look was different. He had horns, his scales being gold, dorsal plates growing yellow. And this time, since King Ghidorah was way more heavier, he adapted to the weight of King Ghidorah. So this time, his weight would keep, and he would put on some more muscle. His scales would be way more tougher, and he would have the healing factor and the horns, and he would still keep his atomic breath, but mixed with a gravity beam. Godzilla, this time being way more ferocious and angry, would go to Egypt way faster. So he would go through the Hollow Earth tunnels, traveling way faster, and then he would arrive in Egypt. This is where the battle would take a really deep turn. Kong would not be able to get such hits in on Godzilla. Godzilla slamming Kong into the pyramids, quickly overwhelming him. Kong, seeing that Godzilla is way more powerful this time and is not playing around, he decides that he tries to punch out of where Godzilla's got him stuck against the pyramid. He tries to punch out, but nothing is working. So Godzilla is about to fire his beam, but Kong manages to charge up his Beast Glove and punch Godzilla in the head. This stuns Godzilla for a little bit. Not like in the movie where Godzilla gets knocked out. This is different. The energy is not the same. The energy, there's a way more difference. There's a bigger difference between them. Kong jumps out of the way. This time, his fur burning. He couldn't realize that Godzilla's power is way too destructive. Godzilla getting back up, ferocious, glowing lightning out of it. His eyes glowing bright yellow lightning. He charges at Kong again, swiping at him, trying to hit Kong, but nothing. But he was just not focusing, like he was way more angry. Kong, being who he is, he's really smart. He starts punching Godzilla in the weak spots, the dorsals, the side, but nothing's working. Godzilla uses his tail, slamming it against Kong's back, impaling him in the back, not cutting all the way through to his chest outside, but throwing him with his tail way more deadlier this time. Godzilla charging, kicking Kong to the ground, and bashing his head against the pyramid. Then he suplexes him just in the movie. Kong would get out of the way the same way. His beast glove charging this time. This time he jumps up, hitting Godzilla on the head. Godzilla felt that one. He went on the floor. He went on the floor like something just hit him. Kong realized that was a weak spot. But at this time, Mothra hadn't hatched yet. Godzilla was getting mad. He gets up. Kong trying to punch him to the ground and reason with him. He grabs Kong's fist, throwing Kong to the ground. This time clawing at him just like in GVK. And then this time he grabs Kong again and throws him, charging up his atomic breath. He shoots it. Kong trying to dodge. He is dodging it, but he could still feel the heat and electricity coming from it. It burns some of his fur, but Godzilla knows that Kong is smart before. So he stops his atomic breath. Kong kept running around the battlefield. And Godzilla just disappeared. Kong didn't know where he went, because Godzilla in this point had made a giant stomp, making sand everywhere. Kong couldn't see where Godzilla was. And then a flash of lightning. Boom. Godzilla fires his atomic breath, hitting Kong. Kong's arm severely burned and injured. His flesh burning. The fur burning off. Kong being really injured. Just like on Skull Island, where it hurt just as much as the burns, but way more worse. Like it was 20 times more. Kong burning in agonizing pain. Couldn't take any more of it. Godzilla kicking Kong to the ground, knocking out his silver tooth. Godzilla stepping on Kong. At this point, Mothra just hatched, but it wouldn't be enough. Godzilla fires his atomic breath, reducing Kong to just bones. As the points went on, Godzilla meets with Mothra, but this time, Godzilla does not care. He has little regards with talking to Mothra. He could sense every titan on the world. And Godzilla remembers the time Apex built machines. And these big robots just drop right in front of him. Trying to reason with Godzilla. Godzilla's had enough. Godzilla charges at those robots. They are called Jaegers. Godzilla easily tears through them. They're only prototypes, not even the real thing. The real things are kept stored in case of emergencies. But they don't know what's about to unfold. Godzilla slicing through them, doesn't care, kills the humans inside. It feels like Godzilla is not even in control. Godzilla roars in the sky. It was an alpha call, calling all titans to his side. So now, back in Hollow Earth, Skark and his army were advancing towards the vortex. In Egypt, Mothra tried to reason with Godzilla. Godzilla did not care. He says that humanity has to pay the price. He was gonna burn this planet gonna burn it to the ground. So Mothra decides to God Ray blind Godzilla with her God Rays, and then knocks him to the ground using all of her force and power, using up most of her energy just to put a Godzilla down on the ground. Sure, it burned her severely, but she left, leaving to regenerate. Godzilla, seeing Mothra, wasn't on his side too. Godzilla wasn't seeing things straightly. Because whatever that energy did to him made him way more evil. It made him sadistic. He felt like King Ghidorah. He wanted to conquer the planet. Mothra, back in Hollow Earth, saw that Shimo and Skarking were advancing towards the portal. She talks with them, trying to reason with them, but they try and shoot her down. And then she tries. She's communicating with Skarking symbiotically, saying that Godzilla has evolved with Ghidorah's DNA and is really powerful and has killed Kong and is gonna conquer the surface world. Skarking was not gonna have like that. He 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 communicated back saying, "Once we kill him, I'll kill you." Because this was a temporary alliance. Skarking was still gonna conquer the surface world, but Mothra knew humanity would still stop them both. Back on the surface world, the Titans started wreaking havoc across the world. Mothra says we can't take the portal to Egypt because if they do take it to Egypt, it will take way more bad influences on the. It would take bad influences on the Titans, where Godzilla would see them, they would not stand a chance. So they decide to head to Brazil. Arriving in Brazil, seeing the structures destroyed, and seeing the one who caused this is Behemoth. Behemoth destroying the cities. Knowing that Godzilla would do this, knowing if Godzilla knew he was abandoning his post and destroying the cities, Godzilla would come and kill him. So you had no really other choice but to destroy it. Skarking, not really noticing all of this, and now would see all the storms around them. He would send Shimo, he would send his apes to hold down Behemoth. Of course, Behemoth would take down some apes, but not all of them. These were supercharged apes. Realizing the rays of Mothra, showing him the future of what Godzilla could have done. So seeing the immense raw power. Skarking powered up with most of the Hollow Earth energy, also with Shimo. He easily tells them to subdue Behemoth. Doing that, Behemoth was subdued. Mothra communicating with Behemoth, telling him that Godzilla was wrong in all of this. It's because of the Ghidorah DNA that's making him do this. He's not seeing the things clearly. So Behemoth agrees and he helps them. But he knows that Skarking could not be trusted. Now, back in Severe Cities, Godzilla is laying waste to Washington, D.C. Just like in King of the Monsters, it would be laid to waste. Godzilla moving across the planet, laying waste to cities and taking nuclear energy. Tiamat would be destroying buildings as well. Skarking, not sitting just in Brazil, has gone to go find Godzilla. Scouting out Godzilla, he runs back to the post, jumping through a Hollow Earth portal back to Brazil, knowing what has happened. So then, Monarch decides to know what Mothra does. So they give her these advancements, these healing factors. So they give her multiple abilities, a lot of abilities. Because she was still weak in the fight of Godzilla, which is not really a fight, she just knocked him down. Mothra, feeling at full power, she had all the power in her body. So she decided, with all of this power, she would fly back to Egypt. Flying back to Egypt, she would see the decapitated Kong. Fur burned, everything gone. It was just flesh and bones sticking out. Mothra knew she needed to try. If it didn't work, then that power would have gone to nothing. She tries to revive Kong. Using all of her God Ray's abilities, everything of that, she transports power to Kong's body healing up, and then, boom. Godzilla saw Mothra, what she was doing. She was helping his enemy. Godzilla absolutely losing it, charging up his atomic breath, seeing Mothra like this. Kong has already been revived. Kong, seeing what has happened, sees Godzilla in the distance, running towards them. He's charging up his atomic breath, shooting it at Mothra. Mothra just dodges, but burns some of her wings. But she still uses most of her energy to heal that wing. She's back at her base form. They jump back in a portal, back to Brazil. Godzilla, knowing that he couldn't take all of them down in Brazil, because he knows that he was weakened from the fight with the military titans and robots. Some titans defied Godzilla, of course. So Godzilla headed back to the nuclear power plants, charging up and electricity surging through his body. Godzilla absolutely losing it with them. He knew they would defy his rule. So all of the titans would be charged, will be charging to Brazil. Some titans stand with Godzilla, some titans defied him. Like Rodan. Rodan remembers what King Ghidorah has done, but really decides to go back and side with the titans there at the Brazil, waiting for the fight to commence. Godzilla arrives, standing there menacingly. He grins, knowing that their armies are short. But just from the sky, Jaegers fall down. They are powered up with hollow earth energy and ready to fight. Godzilla knowing that he has more titans and armies, but then he senses way more armies coming up. He sees Scar King riding Shimo into battle with the great apes there. He knows great apes were weak at this point, so it didn't really matter to him. The only thing he mattered about was Shimo and Kong. He lunges, running towards them. Titans following him as well. Most of the Titans following him. An all-out assault begins. Godzilla fighting Shimo and Behemoth at the same time. Behemoth tries to impale Godzilla with his tusks, but instantly gets electrocuted. Godzilla sees what Behemoth is trying to do, trying to impale him, so he grabs Behemoth's tusk, not even thinking about a moment, throwing Behemoth to the ground. I don't want to say at this point he gets killed, but he stomps on Behemoth's tusk, breaking it. Behemoth already downed. Shimo's fighting Godzilla, trying to bite on him, but the electricity was surging through his body, just kept pushing Shimo back. Shimo, knowing what has been happening, she headbutts Godzilla in the head, knocking him in the building. Then, just like in GXK where Shimo was running towards Kong, she would have done the same thing and succeeded, knocking Godzilla to the ground, stepping on his chest. Shimo roaring at him, Godzilla punching Shimo in the face. Then, boom, an atomic blast. Blasting Shimo off, and this would do way more damage, burning Shimo's chest. She would be thrown off, Scar King fighting the other titans, and commanding Shimo to freeze. Would be commanding her to freeze Tiamat, who was giving him trouble. Freezing Tiamat, and taking a place to shatter Tiamat. But this was different. Since Tiamat's flesh was shattered in ice and was covered in ice, she wouldn't be able to regenerate. The ice wouldn't break. She would need something hot to break it. So Tiamat was out of this fight, but yet still alive. Godzilla battling with Shimo. Shimo clawing and tearing at Godzilla's flesh. Because she absorbed so much energy, Godzilla kept regenerating. Because this is the Monster Zero's regenerative abilities gives him a lot. He decides that he nuclear pulses, getting Shimo off of him, but not with at the point. Shimo quickly getting up weakly, using most of her energy to get up and freeze Godzilla. Godzilla, frozen. This was just a mere stun for her. She decides to go back to Scar King, helping him with the remaining Titans on him. Scar King was weakened from the fight, but decided they would all go for Godzilla. Kong, trying to reason with Godzilla, wouldn't listen. He was trying to kill Kong, firing his beams at him. But Monarch gave him a boost of strength before this hand, so hitting him wouldn't do way more damage this time. It would burn the back, leaving him exposed. So, leaving his back burnt, Kong goes his Beast Glove enhanced, punching Godzilla in the ribs, trying to shatter at least one, but to avail, it only cracked. Godzilla grunting in pain, Kong decides to punch Godzilla up really hard with all of his force. This time, shattering all of Godzilla's teeth on the bottom jaw and breaking his bottom jaw. Godzilla backing down with the pain in his jaw. He regenerates his jaw and then punches Kong right in the face, breaking his nose. Godzilla has gotten stronger. And then Mothra tries to fly down and blind Godzilla, but Godzilla grabs Mothra's wings, tearing it off. She was able to blind him, but Mothra's wings were torn off. Godzilla, in a final moment, kills Mothra by stepping on her. Mothra is gone. This time, Shimo and Kong are sent to go kill Godzilla. Godzilla fighting back with ferociously. This time, it was way different. The battle took a deep turn in Godzilla's favor. Godzilla punching, kicking both of them. He atomic breath, knocking Shimo down, and then he impaled Kong once again, throwing him across the city. Scar King would come from behind, and he would put his whip around Godzilla's neck, trying to snap it, but to no avail. He was trying to snap it. Godzilla bites down on it, breaking it. This time, it was just only a whip, not that long. Scar King retreated, but Godzilla chased. This time, being way more faster, thanks to Ghidorah's speed. He breaks through the buildings, kicking Scar King's leg, knocking him down. Before he could even react, Godzilla was about to step on his head. But then Shimo quickly got up and tail whipped Godzilla's legs, pushing him to the ground, knocking him to the ground. Shimo and Kong go. They're tearing off Godzilla's dorsal plates, but they kept regenerating. All of them were ripping at Godzilla. But Godzilla pulsed. Then, running at Shimo, Godzilla quickly punches Shimo, kicking her, and Shimo's drastically injured from the pulse. Godzilla also running down on radiation because most of the Titans were after him. Scar King kept commanding Shimo to attack and tear at Godzilla. She fired her frostbite one last time, but to no avail. The energy surge around Godzilla was like a force. This time it wasn't going through his to freeze him. It was just not availing. It was breaking. Kong, seeing this, has decided to go, and he sees his battle axe. Godzilla laughing. Kong quickly jumping up and tries to slice Godzilla's head off, but he stabs it deep into Godzilla's neck, not killing him, but mortally making him really weakened. Godzilla coughing up the blood. Easily throws Kong and grabs the axe and throws it down, crushing it. As Kong thought he could use the axe, Godzilla just said nope. He crushed the axe, regenerated the big tear in his neck. And then Scar King tried to go from behind, but Godzilla caught him. Godzilla quickly kicked Scar King to the ground. Scar King tried to whip Godzilla, but Godzilla threw the whip across the city. So Scar King couldn't command Shimo. Shimo was still in command. She was fighting other Titans. But it wouldn't matter because Godzilla was way too powerful at this point. Godzilla. Godzilla snapping Scar King's arm. Scar King roaring in pain. Godzilla kicks him to the ground. But the great apes start jumping Godzilla. More of them they could imagine. Godzilla atomic blasts tearing through them. Scar King runs, trying to get away, but Godzilla wouldn't have it. He shot his atomic breath, burning Scar King's back. His arm was snapped, and he didn't know if he could pop it back into place. His dislocated arm wasn't working, so he really did not back down at this point. He popped it back into place, and this time grabbed a spear, made one of the buildings into a spear, throwing it at Godzilla. But it would burn. It would just electrocute, just turning into rubble right in front of him. Before Scar King could even see what was coming, boom, an atomic breath hit him right in the chest, leaving him right exposed. It was a weakened atomic blast, yeah. But Scar King was on the ground, coughing up blood. He couldn't get up. He tried to reach for the crystal, but bam, Godzilla stepped on it, throwing Scar King back, but not even throwing back Godzilla. And then Godzilla, right there, Godzilla standing over him, grabs Scar King by the neck, and Godzilla brutally kills Scar King by ripping him in half, killing Scar King. Scar King's dead body drops to the ground, or half body. Well, Godzilla, everybody watched in horror. I'm gonna change the fate of Scar. It's gonna be like way more brutal. Most of the Titans watched in horror, where Scar King was lifted into the air by Godzilla, firing his atomic beam, we'll say, with electricity, cutting Scar King in half, dropping his tube, separating him from his torso. Scar King lost his legs. Scar King was dead at this point. Shimo got up. Seeing Godzilla, she charged at him, knocking him on the building. But to no avail. Godzilla grabbed Shimo. Her scales were burning. Godzilla charges up his atomic breath and brutally kills Shimo by not doing the kiss of death, because I don't want to copy VS Showdown. He shatters Shimo's jaw, brutally, mercilessly breaking it. And then, in one last ditch effort, Shimo tried to learn to do a pulse, but it didn't do anything. Godzilla, quickly lifting Shimo up on his back like he did the Moon of Prime, is about to fire his atomic breath, shooting it through Shimo. As it was about to happen, Shimo closed her eyes, but not before Kong, coming from behind, with a shattering punch, breaking Godzilla's big dorsal plate in the middle. Godzilla, screaming in agonizing pain, drops Shimo to the ground. Shimo's jaw popped back into place when put in the ground. Godzilla pops his jaw back into place. This time, the electrical grid's charging up. Godzilla charges up with them. This time he's fed up with Kong. He'll leave no trace of him this time. He fires an enhanced atomic beam. Kong, knowing if he gets hit once, he will be killed. As Kong is going up, he jumps quickly, but Godzilla's beam was quicker, cutting off Kong's arm. Kong, screaming in agonizing pain, falling to the ground. Godzilla walks over, crushing Kong's head, stepping on it, and incinerating the rest of the body. This time Mothra couldn't revive him. Even if she did come back, she was dead. Godzilla walked over to Shimo. Then, just like he was gonna do before, firing an atomic beam, throwing her into the sky, killing her this time. Everyone was dead. Scar King's army, dead. Scar King, dead. He was cut in half by Godzilla's beam. Shimo exploded into the air. Kong, his head crushed, and his body incinerated. Godzilla had won this fight, going back into the ocean, traveling till he reached the Pentagon. He realized something was off about this place. He fired a beam at the Pentagon, destroying it. He walked away, but didn't really know there was a base underground. Kiryu was being developed to take care of Godzilla. He emerged from the rubble. This time, Godzilla did not hold back. Coursing with energy, Kiryu fought with determination. But ultimately, he died, not before severely wounding Godzilla. Godzilla regenerated his flesh, and yet to see an army of Kongs, yet to see remnants of Scar King's army running around, not knowing what to do without an emperor, Godzilla kills them. And then for the rest of the army, he makes them bow, and they work for him as slaves now. Godzilla, now, basically 2 years later, it's basically 2029 at this point. Godzilla has killed everybody. Finally, the Earth was reduced to rubble. In a last-ditch effort, humanity sends off an oxygen destroyer to destroy all of the Titans. All of the Titans were dead this time, Godzilla being the only one left on Earth. Remaining humans were found and killed. Godzilla knew he had won, and had returned to the ocean to rest until a new age would come. But some things wouldn't be taken lightly. The Earth turned to rubble. Godzilla resting at the bottom of the ocean, knowing that this was not him at this point. Ghidorah had taken over. This time, Godzilla finally did his mission after coming back 3 times from the grave, killing all of the enemies. Ghidorah claimed this territory. And that'll be the end of this what if scenario. So I'm just saying this inspired me from his video. I don't really want to copy him. I'll put his channel below. I don't want to copy him. I was just showing my prediction of what I would have done if Godzilla took in Ghidorah's DNA. I just showed my what if what happened. So I was just showing what was done. I just want to say I'm not taking anything from him. I'm not taking his credit or anything. He does get most of the credit from this video. So I just wanted to say thank you VS Showdown for making type of video. I just wanted to make a video on what this would have happened. So thank you VS Showdown. You are the best out there. Goji guy also. So this is what would have happened in my parody. Go watch his parody as well if it helps you, because he makes a lot of them. So at this point, this is what would have happened in mine. Go check out his. It's really cool. He really inspired me he's really inspiring. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.